guys, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all alright, all surviving the isolation fine. Obviously we've been extended another 3 weeks, so I hope you're finding ways to occupy yourself. My cross stitch got delivered the other day, so that is kind of on my list for this week. I've got 2 more shifts at work and then I've got 2 weeks off. So we were initially planning on going on holiday, but obviously that's not happening anymore. So I'm stuck in the house. So it is going to be doing things like painting my kitchen and decorating just in general, finishing off the garden, going for my runs. I did a 5k yesterday, so I'm over the moon with that. But yeah, generally I just hope you're all alright, cracking on. One of the questions I get an awful lot on Instagram is about how I curl my hair, especially now I've had it all cut off, and how I style it, etc, etc, etc. Just a lot of questions about the way that I do my hair. So whenever I tell people that I tend to curl it, I just curl it with straighteners, and that is about as extensive as it gets. People are always asking me how I do that. Decided I was going to do a bit of a how-to video for you, how to curl them with your straighteners, and that is it. So obviously I do use a few products in it to keep it going, so I'll show you which products I use, but generally I think as long as they're decent products, they don't need to break the bank, anything like that. As long as they've got a good hold, you should be all right. So that is all we're doing. So all you will need is your straighteners and your hair, and that's it. Grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself all comfy, and I will show you how I create this look. Okay guys, so the very first thing I'm going to show you kind of what I use is my shampoo. So my shampoo I've only really started using since I went blonde, but it is this one. It's the Lee Stafford Bleach Blondes. I use this really kind of twice a week, if I wash my hair twice a week, just to kind of get rid of any brassiness, get rid of the yellow. I really like it. It's a purple shampoo. I've never really used one before. Even when I was blonde before, I never used one. I used the TG Bedhead Done Blonde range, which I really recommend. But yeah, this is a new addition to my hair care routine, and I actually really like it. So I then just condition it, bog standard conditioner. Again, I'll either use the TG Bedhead Done Blonde, but at the moment I am using Wella Colour Protect. I am very fortunate in that obviously my husband is a hairdresser, and so Marco finds it obviously quite easy to get me these products that you get in a salon. So if you can't get them from your local salons, Amazon's a really good place to look. Just online, all the different beauty websites, things like, I think it's called Cult Beauty, Just My Look, places like that, they tend to have quite a broad range of good products that you can use. So I'm very conscious at the moment of the fact that my hair is so frazzled, where it's been so heavily bleached in such a short space of time. So I am also making sure that twice a week when I wash my hair, or well, really, to be honest, I use this every time I wash my hair because I don't do it as often as I probably should. Olaplex number 3. So when Marco does my hair and he's bleaching it, he uses Olaplex 1 and 2. So I use the 3. It's a really good treatment. I leave it in my hair for about 15-20 minutes when it's kind of just damp before I shampoo and conditioner it. Rinse this out, and it just helps kind of with the ends, with all the damages that you get from the bleach. So when it comes on to actually styling it, so when it's still wet, I've towel dried it, the very first thing I will do is spray in some of this. So it's Revlon all-in-one. So I use this every time I wash my hair. I just quite literally just spray it all over my hair before I blow dry it. There's 7 different things that it does. I can't tell you off the top of my head. Here we go. So yeah, it's things like repairing, shine and frizz control, heat protection, silkiness and smooth, hair colour protection, easier brushing, detangling, long-lasting hair styles, a split end prevention, and adds body. I swear by this. I've been using this for a good few years now. I use it every single time I wash my hair without fail, mainly for the heat protection, but I love it, and it also smells absolutely delicious, so I recommend it. A new thing that I've started doing once I've done that is using this. So this is only like a little tester thing. It's Hask Argan Oil. So I just quite literally put the tiniest little drop of this on my ends before I blow dry it, and then an even tinier drop once it's blow dried, just because I just think it helps it feel a bit silkier, a bit smoother, and it just makes it a bit shinier. So I just think it feels a lot better rather than like straw. And then I thought my hair routine was like really simple. Obviously I just seem to be throwing products in the mix here. This is the Toni & Guy volumizing spray. I use this just on my roots kind of when I am going to curl it. and then I will spray a little bit on afterwards. So I'll show you how I use that. But again, it's just a case of kind of rustling at the roots and just spraying it in there and spraying it in there when it's wet before you dry. It just gives it that bit more volume. I don't need an excessive amount of that. I really don't need much at all, because as you can see, my hair is so unbelievably thick that too much volume and I end up looking like, you know, Peggy Mitchell in the 1980s, and it's really not great. So that is what I do. Now, when it comes to styling my hair, unless I'm straightening it, if I'm trying to put any kind of wave in it, anything like that, I will not do it the day I wash my hair. So if I wash my hair this morning and then blow dry it, it is very rare that I will then try and curl it, because I just don't think that it holds that well, because it's too soft and I think it takes a lot of product to keep it. You can do, if I do, and like I say, it is a rare occasion, I do prefer to do it when my hair is a bit dirty. Once I have blow dried it, I will just give a bit of a spray of dry shampoo just to give it that bit more texture, really, just so it holds that little bit more. But really that's it. So it's not too in-depth. You don't have to do every single step of that. You don't have to use the Olaplex, you don't have to use the oil. I only do that because, like I say, my hair is so damaged at the moment, hence why I cut it all off. So like I say, I don't do this really on freshly washed hair because it's so soft. So you can see my hair's got a bit of a kink in it. My hair has been tied up, hasn't been washed. I think this is day 2. Yeah, I didn't do it last night, I did it the night before. So yeah, so it's not the cleanest of hair, but to be honest, I prefer cleaning it that way anyway. So I'm now going to turn the straighteners on. So I'm going to show you how to do this with straighteners. I do own curlers, but to be honest, I don't use them that often. When my hair's a bit longer, I will use them every now and again, but generally it is just my GHDs that I use. So these GHDs are, I can't remember what they're called. I want to say Amber Sunrise. I'm not 100% sure. I absolutely adore GHDs. I have had GHDs since I was 13 years old. I got a pair for my 13th birthday and they lasted me right through until my 23rd. They did literally last me 10 years. And the only reason they broke was because I stood on them and I snapped this bit here. And so they were stuck together with sellotape for quite some time. So Marco bought me some new ones. I absolutely adore them. I wouldn't have anything other than GHDs. You obviously can get other straighteners that are a bit cheaper that are still good, but for me, GHDs are the be all and end all, and I don't think I will ever buy anything else. But yeah, so I'm going to show you how to use these because I do use them for everything. Every single hairstyle I do, if I have a little wave, if I have a full-on curl, everything I do, I use my GHDs. So it would be wrong for me to show you how to do something using a product I don't use. So the very first thing we're going to do, so sometimes I will just use a hair bobble, other times I will use a clip. So these are just the clips I use, just these long ones. I tend to steal them out of Marco's salon, so I have no idea where you can buy them, but I'm sure they're easily accessible. So there you go. So I just quite literally clip it up. We'll leave this side for now, as I'm going to start with the bottom. So just making sure it's all combed through. The very first thing we're going to do is just take a section of it. You can, if you're going to be, you know, you want to be proper about it, you can get gloves to protect from the heat. You can use a comb. I just use my hands. I haven't burnt myself that many times, so it is what it is. So the very first thing you're going to do is just pull that out, and then you're going to start from the top and then just roll that. So you're literally just twisting it and then just pull away from your head. That did not fully go to plan, but you can see there. So I probably put a bit too much hair in that, so we'll try it again. So you'll quite literally get your straighteners, hold them at the top, clamp it. You're going to twist it away from you and then just pull. You don't want to hold it on the end, and there you go. You've got a nice curl there. We'll try it again. So again, you just want a small little section, not too much hair at all. I do find this works best with thin straighteners rather than thick. I've never really tried it with thick. I've never really got on with thick straighteners, but thin works best for me. You don't want to be holding it on your ends for too long. There are different ways you can do it. I see a lot of people that like to do it and they kind of straighten it, clamp it there and then roll it up. I don't like to do that because I think it puts too much heat on the ends, and doing this I like to avoid as much heat as on the ends as possible, as that is the bit that is damaged. So again, just pull, and there you go, you get a nice little curl. So we're going to do that the whole way. Do remember, with a bob, you're never really going to get every single bit of hair. So this underneath bit, I don't like to get it all bog standard. So it's just a case of pull and twist, and that will just literally be a flick, because honestly, there's not enough hair to get full bouncy curls with everything. The back is a little bit harder. You've just kind of got to use your judgment and feel around. But there you go, twist, round, and pull. So it's almost like when you're doing it, you're making like a C shape. I always put it away from my head so that when you do it, you're not going inward and you get this weird flick. It just means at the end, it just kind of goes out a little bit and follows down. So that's that bit. So let's just get this back bit done. Obviously you can start really high up, you can start halfway down the hair. It depends how you want the curl to form. I like mine quite loose, as I think when you have short bob hair, if you have too tight curls, you end up looking like you've got a little beehive on your head, which isn't really the look we're going for today. So there you go, again, you can see that these small little bits underneath. I don't really know why I do these last, why I don't get them right at the beginning, but this is the way I've always done it, so this is the way I'm going to continue to. But yeah, you're never ever going to get every single last bit of hair while it's this short, unless you're really going to section it off into tiny little pieces. Frankly, I don't have the time for that. When I'm doing this, it's kind of just a rush job in the morning before I go to work. But that's it. So you can see there that it's all curled. I might just go over that a little bit. But yeah, there you go. So when it comes out, it's like an S shape, you see? So we're going to leave that. I know at the moment they look like really tight curls, but you want to leave them to cool down before you start messing about with it, because otherwise it just won't go to plan at all. So we'll just carry on with this side. You just want to section it. Just take your clip out. And just section it off again like that. And make your way through.
Sometimes it really feels like I lose control. Honestly, I can't even find my hole. Cause when you see light, I tend to fade. With city lights and you're in space, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get it right. I'm drowning underwater, and you're just making it harder. Need to let you go to find myself. Cause I keep on falling, and you're the one watching. Need to let you go to find myself. You are only bringing out the worst in me. Now I really don't know what the best in me is. Cause when you see light, I tend to fade. With city lights and you're in space, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get it right. I'm drowning underwater, and you're just making it harder. Need to let you go to find myself.
Now, just a side note, what I do when I get to this top layer, I do try and start a little bit lower down. So rather than starting right up at the root, so it goes out and causes like a big bump, if you like, I tend to just start about a quarter of the way down. And again, just do it again. So I leave about 3 inches at the top, just so, like I say, I don't get this real big mountain of too much volume at the top. So then the fringe gets a bit complicated. So my fringe is a bit strange. You can see that I've done it underneath. And you just get random little stray bits. So these, again, about halfway down, I tend to just just so it blends in that little bit more. There we go, have I missed a bit there? Again, it is just feeling around, making sure that you've got it all. Yeah, I've missed this bit here. There we go. Okay, so that's one side. So as you can see, the amount of length that you lose when you're curling it, especially if you've got short hair, is really quite a big jump. So if you were to do really small tight curls, as much as on some people it looks really good, generally we are going to comb all this out, so it is going to add a bit of length again. So unless you want really tight short curls, I do just recommend doing loose curls where you're starting halfway down towards the end. So this side, you're then again going to clip up, and we'll do it again. This side, especially if you've got side parting, you will find that one side takes a lot longer than the other. So this for me is my quick side. So we're going to clip that up like that. And there you go, you can see that obviously the back is curled there. It's up to you if you want to start from the back going forward. For some people that's easier. Whatever way you want to do it, back to front, front to back. A lot of people do, I think, find back to front easier because you can see what you've done rather than having to find them, then that's fine. But this is the way I prefer to do it. So I just kind of grab anything where hair is free.
Cause I keep on falling, and you're the one watching. Need to let you go to find myself. I'm drowning underwater. Need to let you go to find myself. Cause I keep on falling. Need to let you go to find myself. I'm drowning underwater, and you're just making it harder. Need to let you go to find myself. Cause I keep on falling, and you're the one watching. Need to let you go to find myself.
Okay, so there we go. So we've done the front, we've got round to the back, and at the moment we just have these really short, tight little curls, which is not the desired look. So I'm now going to show you how we're just going to kind of loosen it all up and make it just loose, nice little waves in a nice hair. So we need to give it a few minutes to cool down. If you try and kind of style it while it is still really hot, it's just not going to work. So this side is near enough, well, this side is cool. It usually takes just a few seconds to cool down, but I do like to just make sure that it's all kind of fine. You will have certain ones like here that are slightly looser than the rest if you're not happy with them. So I'm not overly happy with that one, so I think I'm just gonna go back over this little bit here, as it seems to have folded two in. So again, not much, but just that one I'm just kind of going over because, like I say, there you go. So sometimes rather than just twisting it kind of a 180, I will turn it and do it a 360 around my hair. So like that one where you just kind of wrap the hair fully round it and twist, because it's just not holding properly. But you shouldn't need to do that often, really. I just have the odd bit of hair that likes to be a bit limp. So now I've just got to wait for that one to cool down. Still a bit warm. So we'll start with this side because it's done. So then all you want to do is just run your fingers through, just really gently. If you've got nails, Careful you don't catch them, but just literally scrape it through and do that the whole way around. You don't want to completely brush them out. You can do this with a comb if you'd like. I just find it a bit easier to just kind of pull them out with my hair, with my fingers even. And then you're near enough done. So my fringe at the moment is still in that really awkward growing out stage, so that's never going to sit completely properly. If your hair is all one length kind of thing, it should just roll in here, whereas mine doesn't. So I tend to just kind of wrap that around my fingers a little bit and just pull it out the way. But there you go. So you've now got your loose curls in your bob, which I really like. This is kind of my go-to style at the minute if I'm feeling a bit fancy. And then just, yeah, scrunch it up a little bit if you want a little bit more volume. But just like that, you're done. So my final thing, like I say, I tend to go back to this volumizing spray if I want a little bit more volume. And again, it's just a case of you don't want much of this when your hair is dry because it does make your hair really sticky. So you just, for me, a little bit like that and just spray that on my arm. And just, I love the smell of this. It really does smell amazing. And again, same the other side. So you just want to lift it ever so slightly and onto the root. Just to give it that extra bit of va-va-voom. And once around the back. Don't forget about the back of your hair. You don't want the back of your hair to be really lifeless while the rest of it is nice and big and bouncy. And then just to finalise it, a bit of hairspray. So I again use the Weller Performance just because it's what Marco has in the salon. So we always tend to get two, one for the house, one for the salon. But you can use any hairspray. And just give that a bit of a spray. He kills me because I always put too much hairspray on, but generally, there you go. So you can style this however you want. If you want to put a little clip in it there, then you can do and clip that off your face. Today I'm going for the full look. So there you go. Like I said, this fringe really annoys me, but once that's all grown out, this will be a bit better. But there you go. So that is how you curl your hair with straighteners, especially if you have a bob. Obviously, the longer your hair, the longer it's going to take you, the more wraps you're going to need to do. And I'd probably do it in slightly thinner sections, especially if you've got thick hair. If you've got thin hair, this won't take you very long at all. If you've got thick hair like me, then it will probably take you 20 minutes to do the full thing. Obviously, a bit longer if you want it tighter. But generally, I'm very happy with that. If you haven't already, then do please make sure that you have subscribed to this channel, that you leave me a nice big thumbs up and leave me a comment below. I will see you during the week on Instagram. We upload here every Tuesday and every Friday. So I will see you on Friday for another video, 5 PM. And I will see you during the week on my stories at Amber in a Teacup. So thanks for watching. Bye.